Slick.
Wait till that start hitting that body.
Yeah.
Alvarez hit that body.
Look how slick. Mike, look how slick he is.
Oh, he's gonna get.
In August of 2024 against Israel Madrimov to make him a 4-division champion. That's it. That's all. He hasn't fought since then.
With Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds.
Mike Tyson just told Terence Crawford he has zero chance against Canelo Alvarez. And he's not the only one. From boxing legends to world champions, everyone is warning Crawford this fight could end badly. Here's what they're saying. Mike Tyson has issued a clear warning to Terence Crawford after joining Canelo Alvarez at the press conference. Tyson says Crawford is simply too small to stand a real chance against Canelo. He believes there's no realistic way for Crawford to beat the Mexican champion, and even questions if fans truly want this fight at all. His blunt comments have turned the pre-fight buzz into a heated debate about whether the matchup should even happen.
That Terence Crawford is simply too small and doesn't have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. I am Mike Tyson. He says that this is a fight that nobody calls for. It's just simply too much of a size difference. Shannon Briggs is the believer in styles make fights, skill set, and the skill set of Canelo Alvarez versus the skill set of Terence Crawford favors the skill set of Terence Crawford, not only just to win, but to possibly stop Canelo Alvarez for the first time in his career. Now, Canelo Alvarez is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is 4-division champion, undefeated, 2-division undisputed champion. Canelo Alvarez is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion with a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout.
Veteran boxer Gabe Rosado has shared his honest opinion about Crawford versus Canelo. According to Rosado, Crawford doesn't have the punching power to hurt Canelo. While he respects Crawford's skill, movement, and accuracy, Rosado thinks those tools won't be enough against a physically stronger and more durable Canelo. He reminded everyone that Canelo has taken big shots from some of boxing's hardest punchers without flinching. For Rosado, the gap in strength and toughness is one of Crawford's biggest problems.
So I don't see how Crawford could hurt Canelo, because Canelo's been in there with Kovalev. He's been in there with Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there with big punchers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can a guy that's really a 47-pounder, even though he's up in weight, I don't see how he can hurt Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It just feels completely, because your body is different to absorbing a bigger blow. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I spar the guys in the lower weight classes and they hit me, bro, it's like, no disrespect, but it just feels like you get hit with a pillow. It's just different. It could be a murderous puncher at 147, but if I'm walking around 185 and I'm a solid guy and I'm used to fighting guys, you know, with a different kind of power, and I spar a guy that's a welterweight, it feels like a pillow.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult also believes Crawford can't beat Canelo. Kea, he says the size, strength, and style differences are simply too much. Showbiz points out that Canelo's experience against top fighters in multiple weight classes gives him the perfect skill set to handle someone like Crawford. While he respects Crawford's boxing IQ and adaptability, Showbiz thinks those qualities won't be enough to deal with Canelo's power and ring control.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah.
Got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man, but a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
still pay for bills. That's why Canelo killed for too.
Legendary trainer Robert Garcia has concerns about Crawford putting on too much weight for this fight. He warns that gaining size quickly can slow a fighter down, hurt their stamina, and take away their sharpness. Garcia also rejects comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, explaining that Floyd never bulked up like this. He beat bigger fighters with speed and skill, not size. In Garcia's view, the extra weight could put Crawford at a disadvantage before the fight even starts.
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it. You know, you guys were just mentioning right now that Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills, we give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how, you know, his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork, because of the weight. So we'll see. You know, I just hope he's not just training and getting big to survive and go the distance, because maybe that's a win for him. Maybe he's thinking, if I go the distance with him, that's a big win for me. So, you know, I just hope not. I expect Crawford to actually pull up some runs and maybe even pull up the fight. But if he's too heavy, too big, he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna have to exchange punches, and that's where the danger comes in.
Gary Ontu and Russell praised Canelo Alvarez's mastery of his own style. He says Canelo knows exactly what works for him and uses it perfectly every time, from slick head movement to deadly counter punches and body shots. Russell believes you can't just take away something Canelo has perfected over years at the top, while he admits Crawford is smart and adaptable. He says Canelo's ability to force his style on opponents makes him an extremely tough challenge.
Canelo, he has mastered his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, you know. He go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, you know, and I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like not 12-round shape. I'm talking about like 16-round shape.
Former world champion Chris Algier has warned about the difficulties of moving up in weight. He explains that while Crawford might look bigger on fight night, the extra size won't necessarily make him stronger. Instead, it could mess with his timing, movement, and stamina, especially in the later rounds. Algieri says fighting at a weight you're not used to is tough. And against someone who's comfortable at that size, it's an even bigger challenge.
Alvarez. So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, you know, exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said, you know, you're going to put on weight, you're going to be a different fighter. And I could say this even as a fighter as myself, as I've gotten heavier in my retirement, and I try and move around the gym, it just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terence is weighing right now. And even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, you know, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight and we see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the fight itself. But I will say this, if you look at it historically, Floyd Mayweather, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Floyd was 36 years old. Canelo was a young man. I think he was 21 or something like that, or 23, under 23, whatever the case may be. Floyd came in how Floyd always comes in. He didn't try to put on weight for that fight. I think he came in 150 pounds, like he always did in his big fights, and even at 36 years old. And it was his speed, it was his technical proficiency, it was his skill and his jab, which is what gave Canelo fits all night long, and eventually why he lost 11 rounds to 1. So I don't know that Crawford really needs to be packing on this muscle. And I have actually argued in my own head. I'm like, yeah, but he's older. He's not Floyd. Floyd was 36 when they fought.
Another boxing analyst gave a straight answer. Canelo will not lose to Crawford. He argues that if Crawford can't hurt Canelo, he can't earn his respect. And without that, the fight becomes an uphill battle. He doubts Crawford could survive. Canelo's power for 12 full rounds. With Canelo's proven chin, strength, and control of the ring, the analyst predicts the fight will be all in Canelo's favor.
Before pounding is on the undefeated phenom. He said that he sparred Canelo Alvarez. And he hit Canelo Alvarez with his best shot. His best shot. There's a power punch. And yeah, he's smaller than Canelo Alvarez, but let me further explain. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing. Nothing. And some of y'all gonna be like, but yo, that's Virgil Ortiz, he's smaller. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Triple G. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing versus Kovalev. Kovalev killed the man in the ring. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Daniel Jacobs. Canelo Alvarez wasn't even demoralized by Dimitri Bivol. He just got outboxed. He didn't hurt Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, you see how we say iron Mike Tyson? Well, Canelo Alvarez has an iron chin. Terence Crawford. And also, put it this way, after the fight with Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, and I spoke to Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo basically said that, yo, Canelo Alvarez couldn't feel my punches. I hit Canelo Alvarez with 2 left hooks and he didn't even feel nothing. Jermell Charlo was Iron Man Jermell Charlo. The 154-pound undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not active right now, but we all know he was a knockout artist that got all his belt by knocking out every opponent to become undisputed, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo Alvarez has gotten hit with the most devastating punches in his generation, 175 and 160. Fought the likes of Kirkland that was known for power.
Former boxer and commentator Willie D broke down the matchup from another angle. He points out that Canelo is younger than Crawford, and in boxing, age matters a lot. He also highlights Canelo's height advantage, which could help him control distance and pace. Willie D says age and size aren't just numbers. They affect reflexes, recovery, and the ability to take punches. This, combined with Canelo's skills, makes the fight even harder for Crawford.
It's 34. Bud is 37. So you give that edge to Canelo because in boxing, youth is a commodity. Height. Canelo is 5 feet 7.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 5 feet 8 inches tall. So you give the slight edge to Terence Crawford right there. The reach. Canelo is 70.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 74 inches tall, which gives him an almost 4-inch reach advantage. Their weight, Canelo is a middleweight and Bud is a lightweight middleweight. Records. Canelo is 63-2-2, 39 knockouts. Bud is 41-0 with 31 knockouts. Canelo's last fight was a victory over William Skull. It was a unanimous decision on May 3rd, 2025. Bud last entered the ring on August 3rd, 2024, where he defeated Israel Madrimov.
John Ryder, who has fought Canelo himself, gave an inside view of what Crawford might face. He says Canelo applies steady, calculated pressure that wears opponents down physically and mentally. It's not just about power, it's about keeping a pace that's hard to match. Ryder admits Crawford has great technique and determination, but doubts he could handle Canelo's relentless style for the full fight. He believes Canelo's mix of power, pressure, and big fight experience could. simply be too much.
I think you just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. I stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone's going to do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. And I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made a step up to middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it. But you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is. Chasing.
Yeah, and I've heard that before. Like, some people said if you see him at 154, he fought Magdalov, and you saw how much he got touched. Obviously, it's 2 different fighters. But why do you think he should probably? You think he should have probably taken another fight, maybe at 160 or maybe another one at 168?
He needs to build into it a bit. I think the fight with Magdalov was his first fight at
154.
At 154, and listen, he's still developing and growing into that weight. You could have done with a couple more there, then moved up to 160, but it's all being done as a bit of a rush. So he's not going to be fully. He's not going to have time to put the muscle on to build into the weight, and he's obviously going to do it with the intention of getting back down to 154 and taking on other challenges. So it's not a long-term goal for him to stay there. But like I say, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. Watching him beat a good friend of mine, Ricky Burns, and it's like since that day I was just my ears pricked up and I took notice. And every time Terence Crawford boxed, I watched.